College isn't just about studying, it's also about overthinking everything at 2 a.m. One day, you're motivated, the next day, you're questioning all your life choices, deadlines, pressure, expectations, and somehow everyone else seems to have it figured out. They don't. By the way, campus therapy is a space where we talk about all of this honestly. Real conversations, real struggles, real solutions. Because figuring life out shouldn't feel this confusing. This is Campus Therapy by Level Up Events.
Hi everyone. I'm Christina Dias and I'm a English educator based in Dubai, UAE, with over 4 years of experience in teaching in schools. So before becoming a full-time teacher, I worked as a soft skill trainer where I had the opportunity to engage with uh, learners from diverse age groups and professional backgrounds. So this experience has allowed me to develop a strong understanding of how individuals learn, communicate, build confidence, and I continue to bring all these learning into my classroom as well. And today I'm delighted and honored to be a part of the campus therapy while level up, and thank you so much for having me here. So even before I begin with my session, I just have a question to ask you. Like, how many of you like have opened your laptop and your books like ready with all your study materials, but you end up like scrolling through your phone, like doom scrolling, and doing everything except of studying? Like, have you been there? Okay. So, one of my engineer friends once told me back in college, that engineers have three moods. Like, they are stressed, more stressed, and pretending that everything is fine. And I'm sure that you can relate to this. Okay. Another question. I know I'm asking too many questions, but I promise this is the last one. Like, do you feel tired, mentally exhausted, especially even before your exams have started? If yes, been there, done that. Like, before an educator, I was a student too, so I completely understand how stress takes a toll on our mental health and how difficult it is at times to navigate through through life, being in that position where there is so much to do but so less time to complete our task. So, and especially for you engineering students, it is, your exams are so intense because you just don't have one chapter to complete. Like, you have modules, assignments, deadlines, and a lot of pressure, and that's completely understandable. But one thing that we need to understand is that constant busyness, or being constantly busy and having a lot of things to do, never really helps us. Like, instead it burns us out. So I am here to not to teach you how to study harder, because you are already doing that. Instead, I'm going to teach you how to study smarter. I am here to help you manage your manage stress, navigate through your study time, and to just help you understand and build practical habits that will help you in the process of your examination. Now, being a teacher, being among among students, I do understand, especially nowadays, how competitive life has become, how difficult it is, and how important exams are for each one of us. So there are just five simple steps that they are very, very basic, very simple, but trust me, I can, I can vouch that these rules are definitely going to help you if you are going to keep uh, practicing them in your day-to-day life. So the first step, the first thing that I would want to tell you is, don't study everything at once. Like, many a time students make this mistake that they open their book during the time or a few days before the examination, and when your brain sees those 10 chapters, it says that it's impossible. I mean, of course, right? So instead of, just sitting there thinking that you're going to complete your entire syllabus overnight or your entire syllabus in a day, start, you make a timetable, start from before. Tell your, you need to tell yourself that, okay, I need to complete 20 pages at once, or 20 pages probably in half an hour, or in 45 minutes, because when our brain sees that tasks are huge, our stress increases. But when the tasks are shrinked, like when it's more clear and specific, your stress reduces. So instead of being panicked over how much you have to complete, like just reduce your task for the day and do it on a daily basis instead of doing everything at once. Second, reward yourself for your progress. I think most of us beat ourselves up because of the amount of work that we have to complete, and we just beat ourselves up thinking that, okay, this is what I've chosen for myself, and it's hard, it's difficult. Now since I've taken up engineering, I don't think I can enjoy my life. I don't think I can do this, I can do that. I just need to concentrate on my studies. That's absolutely right. You need to concentrate on your studies, but that does not mean that you should not enjoy your life. You can do both. So when I say that you need to reward yourself, what I mean to say is, if whatever specific task like you plan to complete and you completed it, reward yourself. It can be very simple. Order your favorite food, go for a walk, listen to music, watch your favorite comedy show, and max to max don't do anything, because that also gives you that sense of relief. It's okay if you just take some time out and don't do nothing. That's one of my favorite things to do when I'm like overwhelmed. I just completely shut everything off, just take some time for myself to be by myself. That just gives me a sense of calmness. Maybe you can try that too, and I'm sure many of you do that. And that should not put you in any sort of guilt, because I think that with the amount of tasks that we complete, giving that our body and mind that peace and rest is equally important. So I would say, don't just wait to celebrate the day of your result. Instead, try celebrating your tiny progress as well, like whatever task you have assigned for yourself, and if you completed it, take some time out. Like you can go out with your friends, but make sure that you are following that timetable strictly. The third point that I would like to share is, do not compare yourself to others, especially in the times of examination. Like whenever we have our assignment submissions, it's very common for us to call our friends and to speak to our friends and ask them how much is completed, how much they have done. And that just puts us into the cycle of comparison, that okay, he has completed the entire syllabus, or she's studying past 10 hours. So that even that comparison builds up more stress than the exam does, if you have noticed. So instead of comparing yourself to somebody else's today, you need to compare yourself to the yesterday's version of you. So you just know that, okay, yesterday if I completed this much, today maybe I can try some more. One of the most simplest and easy ways. Now I know like that these all these points might sound like a little cliche maybe, but if you put this into a regular practice, trust me that it's really going to be so beneficial, because we don't realize in our subconscious mind, like we do these things that builds up to unnecessary stress. Like sometimes stress itself isn't a problem, but when these thoughts take control over you, we happen to burn out. Okay, so the fourth point that I would like to share is that create your own timetable. Now, when I say this, I'm trying to say that don't create a timetable that fits into everyone's shoes, because there now, since we live in a world of distractions, there are so many notifications, so many messages that we get. It's easier for us to get distracted. You need to understand what suits you best, what time of the day suits you best to study. I'll give you a very, very basic example about myself. So when I was a student, I knew I can study best in the night. So during my daytime, I used to rest as much as I can. I used to spend time with my family, spend time with my friends, or just get enough amount of sleep, so that the timetable that I had made for myself to complete in the night, I used to make sure that I follow that and I practice that, because that was the best time for me to focus. Sometimes discipline does not always mean that you need to spend, like 20 hours or 16 hours with your book. Discipline also means that you use your time wisely. So whichever day of the time that suits you the best, just make sure that you're creating your own timetable and following it. You're following everything that you need to study. Make sure you're concentrating more on the subject that needs more attention. And lastly, like the last point, what I would like to share is that the fifth point that I would like to share is that reach out when it feels heavy. Now, again, see, you need to know that you need to reach out. It's being vulnerable is not shameful. Like you can speak to your parents, reach out to your teachers, or talk to anybody whom you trust, because we cannot deny that stress does take a toll on our mental health, and we need to give attention to our well-being as well, instead of destroying it by constantly burning ourselves out just studying for our exams. So make sure that if there's anything that's really troubling you, you reach out to people whom you trust, because people who care about you will definitely help you out. Exams are very important, there's no denying, there's no second thought about that. But what is more important is your health, your peace, and your worth, because your exams measure your answers and on the paper, but your kindness, your resilience, your creativity, and your future potential is far more greater than the marks that you score in your academics. So I think, and honestly, let me tell you this, like being in this industry, like it's been like, I guess, 7 8 years that I am teaching. I'm in this environment, and have honestly taught, like, and have like done these sessions even in different colleges as well. One thing that I can assure you One thing that I can assure you, sometimes as teachers, we don't, as teachers, or as adults, like your marks are just a 50% of who you are, or not even 50% of who you are, but the values that you bring, the creativity that you bring, and you as a person, the entire personality that you carry, like, speaks volumes that will help you ahead in life. So just make sure that you take some time, just calm yourself down, make sure that you're taking care of yourself, do everything that you like, enjoy your life, but also make sure that you're studying, but don't take so much pressure that you completely neglect your well-being. Lastly, I just want to tell you that like success, like whenever we talk about success, like we always think about reaching the end goal, but of course, like it's this journey that that how you're learning to manage your pressure, how you're learning to stay steady under pressure, is going to teach you how to manage life ahead. Because when life tests you, which is far beyond the exams that we give, like these things about coping with stress, and just managing stress, is going to benefit you ahead. So just don't, you don't need to be fearless. Like, you heard me right, you don't need to be fearless. Instead, you just need to keep going. And I would just like to leave you with this quote that says, I don't know if you've watched this movie Nemo. It's one of my favorite quotes. Where this character Dory, she says that just keep swimming. Just know that, no matter what, you need to keep going. You're not in, any, just don't put yourself into any sort of race. Just make sure of who you are, and just try to be the better version of you each and every day. Thank you, everyone.